It is not surprising that growing up in a British colony, we were influenced heavily by the curriculum prepared by the British, whether it was for religious education or secular education. Cecil Frances Alexander, née Humphreys, the daughter of Major John Humphreys of the Royal Marines, married to Reverend William Alexander in 1850, by which time she had already published verses for holy seasons and her hymns for little children, which included most of her well-known hymns. We're told that her later publications included narrative hymns for village schools and hymns descriptive and devotional. The hymn of interest is "There is a Green Hill Far Away," and I can't tell you how often we sang that hymn. Yes, we sang it around the Lenten season, but it seemed as though it made its way into the curriculum pretty frequently, partly because we memorized the hymns. There were no hymnals for the children, so we had to memorize the hymns, and we could not memorize too many of them, so they got sung frequently. Given that we sung every morning, the tune to which we sang this song is Horsley, and it's very simple. It's a common meter, which means many other tunes could work with this hymn, but that was our tune. And I would hazard a guess that everyone with whom I grew up could recite the entire hymn verbatim. I've said before that what fascinated me about this hymn was that there was this green hill that was far away, and it didn't have a city wall, or so I thought. Yes, in my little brain, without meant it didn't have. So there was this green hill that didn't have a city wall, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why a hill would need a city wall. It took many years to figure out that without meant outside of. There is a green hill far away, outside of the city wall, where the dear Lord was crucified, who died to save us all. Thank you, Mrs. Alexander. The hymn continued, "We may not know, we cannot tell what pains he had to bear, but we believe it was for us. He hung and suffered there. He died that we might be forgiven. He died to make us good, that we might go at last to heaven, saved by his precious blood. There was no other good enough to pay the price of sin. He only could unlock the gate of heaven and let us in. Oh, dearly, dearly has he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming blood, and try his works to do." Very interesting poetry, and certainly poetry for little children. The scripture reference for this song is Luke 23:33 through 34. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. Among some of the other songs by Miss Cecil Alexander that are familiar to us are "All Things Bright and Beautiful," "Jesus Calls Us O'er the Tumult," famous Christmas song, "Once in Royal David's City," and of course the hymn on which we are focused at this point.